Hello, everyone. We are live. How are we all? Hello, George. How you doing,
What's
mate?
happening?
Not much. Streaming against EVS. He's clearly feels threatened by my incredible YouTube presence that he had to fire up a stream at the same time.
Well,
No,
actually, he
not
went on before you, so yeah.
yeah. I mean, no one's buying that. Let's be honest. How you going, Leroy?
I'm all right.
Let's say hi to chat. We have Mr. Von Stugel. George is talking to him. Hockey. Hope you're doing okay. I know you've had a rough week. I don't know what it's about, but I hope you're all right. Jason Black's here. Good to see you, Jason Black.
He's back. Back in black.
Back in black. Yes. Manifesto's here as well. Good to see you, mate. So Bancroft did a really good stream last week on people new to CG. And I just wanted to find out, how did you guys find out about it? And let's go into that, George.
For me, it was EVS. Yeah, I've always been a fan of his for over 20 years now, I'd say. I've known of his work and been a big fan, and him talking about Cyberfrog and putting out his book was probably the first I heard of it. I heard much more about it because I'm not in any social media, you know that. Much more about it in 2018. If you remember the Comic-Con where Mark Waid said, if this person, being Zach, shows up, pull me out of any panel and alert me, because he's a what do you call him? A chronic what do you call him? Anyway, I was at that show. It was Baltimore 2018 when that happened, and that everybody was talking about it that day, and that's when I learned all about it.
This is like a live Comic-Con you're at, and not like a panel.
Mark Waid had said in advance, if this person, being Richard Meyer, shows up to this con, because that was like the story, I want you to get me, alert me right away, because he is, what did he call him? I can't remember, but everyone in every line was talking about that day.
Well, Mark Waid basically threatened to whip his ass, which would have been hilarious. But that's basically the gist of what happened.
Yeah, that was September 2018, and that's when I first started hearing about all this stuff. Like, that's the first time I heard about Jawbreakers and all that stuff. Prior to that, I only knew of Cyberfrog. What was it? What did they call him? Oh, it's going to drive me crazy.
That's really interesting. And Leroy, what about you?
Yeah, it's EVS 2 in a different way, though, because I was a big fan of EVS 2. Even after Jim Lee took over DC, they turned to a house style, and Ethan was one of the few artists that popped during that period. So even though I was never really a big Green Lantern fan, and during that time, I turned into a huge Green Lantern fan because it was the only good shit they were putting out at the time. Then I caught wind of what was going on. I came onto YouTube and all the rest, So that's how I came to Comicsgate.
A chronic harasser.
That's it.
And I thought harasser meant like a sexual harasser. I didn't understand what that meant. It was just like saying silly things on Twitter is all it meant. But when I heard it, I didn't know what was going on, and I had to get more details from folks at the show.
So we're not newbies, is the thing. I wouldn't say.
And then, George, you headed to YouTube after that?
I had always been on YouTube. I always watched it for silly things like movie clips or sports stuff. And then I started watching Ethan. This was a couple of years ago. And really only watched him. And then, YouTube knows what you watch, and they start recommending other stuff. And you probably remember I was watching How to Draw Comics with you and Clayton before Clayton ever said anything about Comicsgate. And all this stuff just kind of all started happening all together. But yeah, for a long time it was just Ethan, and he had shows like with mainstream creators years ago. I remember him interviewing, Mark Waid, Dan Slott, all these guys. I remember all that happening. Do you remember that, Leroy?
Yeah, but mostly what I remember is because I didn't go, I remember Google Hang, when StreamYard wasn't even a thing. It was just, everything was a little bit different. Everything's refined now. There's almost a process when to doing things, or there's nothing new about us. That's
It
true.
doesn't seem like it was that long ago.
No.
As weird as that sounds, it really doesn't.
Comicsgate time is not real time.
No, I know. It's
yeah.
Crackhead says he found your boy through a random FM stream. What's that?
Fandom Menace.
Ah, yes, of course. Of course.
So much drama right now. So much drama, Rob.
In Fandom Menace. Yes. Yeah.
I don't even know what it is. I just know
Star
that
Wars, I just don't even care anymore.
Because Ethan was he in Phantom Menace, or was he
founded it?
Founded it. Yeah. Okay. There you go. So that's interesting. So you went from EVS to where, Leroy? Everywhere. But
well,
how?
not everywhere, because I lurked for a long time, and I've told the story a lot, but my YouTube name was my real in life name. Like that was, I didn't have a YouTube moniker. I just was my real name because that's how I made my initial YouTube account. But I would go to Eric's streams or like Tug or and it was a gradual process. For the first, like I was like George, it would only be Ethan. And then it would be okay. Well, let me watch Malin, and then I just branched out. So, but took some time. It did. I was for a long time. It was Ethan.
So obviously Ethan seems to have brought a lot of people in to CG. An absolute truckload.
I would say so.
One thing I've noticed recently, and Amanda has said this. She came in through Fragger, so he says Unhinged Entertainment. So was that the Fragtober?
Amanda
came in during Fragtober.
No,
I don't know
when Jason's been here about a year. I remember when Jason first started coming in, through when Fragger first started his show.
And Jim says he was on Tug and Replicator before EVS. Man, so some of you have been here. Well, before the beginning.
Now that we're established, I mean, people come in way different ways. It used to be it was always Ethan or Zach. Like those were the two ways. But now, I mean, I had somebody that came in that came to Comicsgate through my Roku for Closeout stream. Shane Davis is bringing a lot of new people in with his videos. There's all kinds of way people are coming to Comicsgate now. It's not always the case where it used to be. It's like, okay, it was Ethan or Zach. You heard the same story over and over again. It's not that way anymore.
And I noticed with Bancroft's stream where he did the new to CG thing, there were quite a few new people in there that had just found it. So it's an interesting topic to people, and that's kind of what I want to segue to. But before we do that, people in the chat, let us know how you found CG, because I find it so interesting. But anyway,
how about you, Rob?
Aaron was the way I found it. He's like, because I wasn't on Twitter, I was on Facebook, and I wasn't on YouTube. I was doing email lists, the stuff that they tell you to do. And then Aaron's like, you should check out this Comicsgate thing. I'm like, what the hell's Comicsgate? And he's like, oh yeah, just use the hashtag, but be careful, because it's like once you go down that route, that's it. I'm like, talk to my wife about it.
That's a good comment by Jason in the chat. I also find who you discover CG from sometimes dictates your viewpoint on what CG is, and I would say that's true because of different segments of CG, different thing. There's a different vibes in the chat. So I think that's interesting, and I think that's right, Jason. Actually, good point.
Yeah, I read the wiki, talked to my wife about it, and she's like, "Oh, I don't think it's a good idea." I'm like, "Yeah, maybe not, but fuck it, let's do it." So that's how I got in. Osgreat says he came from Star Wars Phantom Menace. Now watches none of them. I hear that a little bit actually. Watched EVS and Zach, but only lurked. Then found Bancroft and started back in books.
Bancroft's a really good show for anyone to watch, if you ask me. I know there's certain tastes or certain things, but I've yet to meet someone that say, the Bancroft show's not for me. It's just a lot of fun. I wish it wasn't on so late, but I do try to watch the replays as often as I can.
Manifesto says came in through EVS Zach, but found the crowd and stayed. Who else we got? Black Rose Comics, Weeb Wars Comics Explained, RCM, EVS, everyone else.
Nobody cares about Black Rose.
FM is dead. Yeah, I think there were quite a few people that came in through How to Draw Comics too, because there's a totally different like fan base than most of the other people.
You know who I first started seeing there was Darren Wagner. That's when I first started seeing Darren's name was on that.
Yes, Dario says I came in through Fragtober, popped in on Barton channel, and then Rob let me on live stream when I was drunk. Yes, that was great, Dario. I remember that. Testing. Can anyone see this comment? Yes, we can.
No, that's a joke from Homo being ignored last night.
Oh. Last night's Bancrofts was a disaster, apparently. Mobigs came in through Captain Cringe Cummings and your boy Zach. So the point is now that there are a lot of different channels and there are a lot of different tastes. Like I was talking to George about this pre-show. I tend to like the topical shows where they talk about comics or some aspect of comics. So I like Bancrofts. I like watching people draw art. So I like Shelby. Who else do I like? I had a whole list of people. But then you have the shows that are more entertainment focused, like Shane, EVS, obviously. What are your preferences on those type of shows, guys? Where do you sit?
Well, for shows, I like Beyond Yours and EVS. I like Joe Fulton. He is more of a topical style show. Shelby, I like his as well. His is more of a drawing type stream. What else do I like to watch regularly? I like Patrick's Sunday stream, which is more of a topical show once again. Of course, I like Leroy's The Chat on Saturday night.
Yes.
Which is probably my personal favorite show. Once again, another topical show. I think my favorite, though, overall, and this is no disrespect to anybody here, is Michael Bancroft's show. I like that it changes. Sometimes it's topics, sometimes it's theme, sometimes it's like a launch or a closeout, what have you. I think the only time I don't get a little tired of it when it's too many of the same thing in a row. If it's like 3 launches in a row, I kind of get a little bored by it. But outside of that, that's probably my favorite show on YouTube.
What about you, Leroy?
George and I, we have varied tastes, and I know what streams George is going to like, and I'm pretty good at recommending something to him when I know he like it. I can get a little wilder, there's sometimes I can enjoy a Shane Davis 1 a.m. stream and just have fun. George disavows. So, but yeah, I like the topical. I like to mix it up. I like a mix, I'd say. I like entertainment, and then I'd like informative. I like art demos. I like it all. Now, it does get out of hand sometimes. Like, I like that EVS rescued us a couple weeks ago from the Jack show. That was good stuff. And that turned out to be a hell of a stream. But yeah, I can get up to all kinds of different streams and don't really have a preference.
Yeah, and I think that's the good thing, that there's different shows for everyone's tastes. Like, if you want more entertainment, if you want a bit more, screw the mainstream, that kind of stuff, like you could probably head to EVS or Shane's.
Yep.
And that would be hella entertaining because they're on. If you want drawing stuff, you can check out Shelby's, like we're looking at now. If you want more topical stuff, there's mine, there's Bancroft's, or if you want a fan show, there's Leroy's, and there's so many in between.
There's another show that's kind of new. It's only been on for a couple of weeks, but K Manifesto has a show on Thursday nights at 8 Eastern. I think 5 Pacific. You were on it once before, Rob, but I've enjoyed that show as well.
We could shout out everybody. Jason's got Bascom in the chat. He's got drawing streams there. I mean, it's basically YouTube has taken the place of TV for me, honestly.
Johnny Rando says it's fun when Leroy winds up Shane about SGM.
No, it's not.
I mean, Shane and Malin, I think, just have the best rants of all time. Like when they go into, I call Malin's a rant, and I call Shane's is called a spiral.
Yeah.
But when they get on, man, there's no better entertainment, and you see people flocking from wherever they are to those shows when they're going off on something.
The great thing about when Shane does it, though, is he's so authoritative because he has experience in the industry. I know even George will listen to those because he explains the ins and outs, why it's the way it is, what he's seen in the past. So when Shane does it, it's fascinating because he explains how the comic book industry actually works.
And Jim Cox really hits a nail on the head. He says, I like live streams, rarely catch replays. I'm the same. Like there is something about being in the chat, and that's why Bancrofts is so popular and so fun to be in, because there's a chance that whatever stupid comment you say, he's going to read, and you're going to get a laugh out of him or the chat. When you're insulting him, and that's you don't get that on the replay. It's like being part of it, and if you're not there at the time, you're not. Rick says, "Go, George."
Have you ever seen when artists are drawing, they have a black glove on their hand that covers two fingers? Is that for this? Like, why isn't Shelby, or is that like when you're doing it on your computer?
It's for the screen.
So it's for the computer. Okay, that's why he doesn't need one. Okay.
That looks amazing. Those inks.
It's amazing how fast he does. I hope he's selling it. Chat, if he's selling it, let me know.
That's for the campaign. I think it might be a trade. It says on his, if you go to his channel, it says what he's doing it for. I believe it's something for the campaign.
I need to beat Rick Saylor to it.
Yeah, someone go ask him in chat if he's selling it. But Shelby's just started up his stream, so he's a lot more art focused, which is cool. I think we actually need more art channels. Jim says, I've seen traditional artists use that glove too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Jason says the artists that wear those gloves are called wussies. Crackhead says, that's another good one. Hardline with the Zaid boys. So let us know, chat, like, what are your favorite shows? If there's new people in the chat, what shows would you recommend to someone? Just chuck some ideas in there.
You consider yours a topical theme type of show, correct?
Yeah, I would.
But then your Thursday morning one with Bancroft is more of like a hangout type of a show?
Yeah, and that's another stream type, like a chill stream. I actually really like them because you don't know where it's going to go, and it usually, well, sometimes it gets in depth about certain things. You don't know where the conversation is going to lead to, and I think they're always good. And people actually just really seem to like that show I do with Bancroft, which is really cool.
I do as well.
How to Draw Comics. This is where I first started. This is a great channel if you're looking to learn how to do art. Like there's tutorials for days. This is where I first met George and Leroy. And how did you guys become friends? How did that all happen?
I don't know. I noticed that George is pretty conservative, so I give him a hard time about it. And at first he didn't know how to take me, but then he understood I was trolling the shit out of him, and then we became kind of friends. And now we talk multiple times a week outside of YouTube. So I would consider George my best Comicsgate friend.
Oh man, thanks. But yeah, it was all through the chat. The same way we started talking to you, and started talking to everyone in chat here, like Amanda and K Manifesto and everyone else.
It's the power of the at. The power of the at somebody. You're adding people, you're getting to know them, you're having a conversation. So if you're just coming into a chat and you're just focused on talking to the creator while you're streaming, you're missing half the fun. You have to pay attention and to who's who, and then talk to Mo a little bit. Talk to Darren Wagner. Talk to Amanda. Talk to George. Talk to me. And then that's how you make friends.
Johnny Cage says George and Leroy are soulmates.
Look at his avatar.
That's his drawing.
That's his own drawing?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. You'd have to confirm, Johnny, but I'm pretty sure I've seen you draw that
No
before.
way.
Going back to Shelby's, but love you guys. HTDC or streams with Mo, I borrow in the chat, being rowdy are all my favorite. Very good.
Hey, Darren, if he's selling that piece, let me know.
What if he actually charges a real price for it, George? You'd be out.
I would. I like bargains.
Well, here's the thing. I want to bring like what he's saying for shilling, dude. I hate shilling. Like when I bring creators on my show, like we'll talk about your book for 5 minutes, but most of the rest of the time, like we're going to talk about other things. I'm not a big fan of shill streams. That's not my thing.
I think that's pretty common though. I've lost Shelby. Where's he gone?
There he is.
Let's bring him back up because he's good to look at.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think the majority of people don't like shilling streams, like where there's 10 people on and you promote a book one after another. I think some shows do it a lot better than others. I think Bancroft does the shilling exceptionally well.
Well, it was a process
too.
for him to learn how to do that too, though, right? So.
Yeah, but he also has the luxury, and I say luxury loosely because he's working every day on it, of doing it every day, where he can have one creator on every day and talk about a topic for 45 minutes and then chill his book. Ethan is the best at it. It's not even close, in my opinion. The way he'll talk about something and then he'll talk about his book for like 5 minutes and then he's back onto another topic, and it's really entertaining and you don't feel annoyed.
The thing about Ethan though is when you get the book, it's always so good. Like his books, and it's not just even Blood Honey. Like when you got Unforgettable Tales or any of the other stuff that you've backed from him, the quality is always so exceptional. Like I believe him when he says it. Some people when they talk about it and they're trying to shill, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. But Ethan, I do buy it. Yeah, I do.
I'd say like as far as shill, the best thing to turn a shill stream into is like you were saying, like hangout streams. That's the most effective way to do it. Is just turn it into you guys hanging out, and not just talk about the book for 30 minutes. Because
I do like what you and Clayton and Corey started with your launch day procedures, where you have one stream going for 12 hours and then one person leaves and goes to every channel they can go to. That's something I haven't seen anyone else do, and it seems to have worked well for both of you, and I like it.
Yeah, I think like that's acceptable too. Like if you're a fan of the creator, like you want to see them do well, you get caught up in that whole launch hysteria. So like it's fun seeing how it all goes, but when it's like just shilling every day, it gets very tiresome.
Jason says EVS mainly shills his own stuff, and for other creators that doesn't help that much. And I've seen this comment, but my argument would be is if it wasn't for the EVS, I would have never backed the Replicator. I would have never backed Absolute, Bancroft. So there's only a couple people that are constantly bringing new people into Comicsgate, and he's one of them. So maybe he's not shilling your books, but he's constantly bringing new people in as far as fans to look at all these other books. And because of the drama on his channel and the surrounding it and butthurt feelings and the rest, it's hard for him to be in that position where he can, because if he mentions 10 books, and then what about the other 90?
Yeah. So I mean, he does just his friends or his the things he's publishing, and that's fine. It's his channel; he can do whatever he wants. But like Leroy said, he brings in so many people that trickle down and find our shows and find our books and then back us from there. Like he brought in George, he brought in Leroy, just as two examples right here, and they both back my book and Bancroft's book and a whole ton of other books. How good is this inking on his swords?
Like I said, I can't say enough. I can't believe how fast he is. It's unbelievable. How this all started like an hour ago, right? I mean,
yep.
Let's get to the comment here. For shilling, Red Valkyrie and Bancroft. Another really good shiller I find is Mandy. Whenever I go on her stream, people seem to back my book, which is cool. John's stream is really good for getting in front of a whole group of rabid comic fans. Like he's whenever he streams, he has an amazing amount of viewers like for his channel size. So his audience is really they're switched on and they're hungry.
I would say more than anybody else, John has the most loyal audience to him.
Yeah,
that's what I've noticed.
Yeah, for sure. For fun, Shane, Bancroft, EVS, Cecil. For comic talk and art, Fragger, Shelby, Page One Comics, David Finch. For CG talk, EVS, Leroy, Bancroft. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
I know he doesn't like it, but you know who's a good chiller? Leroy. I know you don't want to hear it, but I've seen him do very well, and he's closed out more than just Groken. I remember him with Shelby. I think he does well with it.
Sasha says, "I want rabbit comic fans too."
Joe says, furries.
Oh no, don't start that, Leroy. Joe says Shelby is crazy fast. Jason says, "I wasn't bashing his methods. He's helped, but creators can't and shouldn't rely on EVS." Yeah, I mean that's something that is pretty much gospel, isn't it? You shouldn't rely on EVS. If it happens, fantastic.
It's been preached up and down, left and right, all around. Like, don't rely on EVS. Absolutely, and that's right, Jason. Like, sorry I mistook your comment.
Yeah. So I mean, the channels. I don't know if this is bad for me to say, but the channels I'm enjoying at the moment, I'm enjoying Shelby's. I'm enjoying art and stuff.
Yeah, Joe and Sean have been a breath of fresh air for me. Like, I love that they've came on. I know they've been on for a while, but I didn't discover them until they went on Bancross one night. And then, seeing their art, it's easy to get excited. I'm very excited for Reaper Destroyer, and then they're very good on stream. So
they are, yeah, and they can take a joke and they interact with the chat. Like this is Joe and this is Sean, but they're not called that anymore. This is Fred Durst and this is JT, or as I call him In Sync. So they can take a joke. It's a good place to hang out. Chat's good there. What else have we got?
The whole crew's over there, man. George, you see the little comments are reading out?
Yeah. I thought that was funny.
Where are they? What?
The comments Joe was pulling up.
Yeah.
It was Amanda, me, and Crackhead. Yeah.
Pete Samedi is a really good streamer too, I find. What about you guys? Do you watch his channel much? Whenever I watch it, I'm always impressed with what he has to say and how he says it, because it's so eloquent in comparison to myself. So
I like Joe Fulton's show.
Yeah, I'll bring that up too.
He streams Thursdays at 1 p.m. Eastern with Russ Leach, comic book black belt, and they only do the one show once a week. I'm hoping they'll do more someday, but it's a theme style show, and I enjoy it.
I've settled into a I don't know about you, George, but I've settled into a rotation where I have my channels now, and it's Eric Weathers, it's Bancroft, it's Shane, Ott and stuff. And then I'll try to catch a UK one every once in a while because they're all weird times, but I do try to catch them. But yeah, there's like 6 or 7 channels that if they're on, I'll catch them, and that's like a full load. I mean, you can't if I see Bascom streaming, yeah, I like Jason because he'll start stream at late night sometimes, and I can pop in there. But once you pick 6 or 7 channels, I mean, you get locked in, kind of thing.
Hockey says Thunder Buns is just too early for me. Yeah, same. I think it's like 4 a.m. my time, so that's undoable for us. Pete is kind to all of his guests. He also does like a Monday open mic Monday where any creators can come on and plug whatever they have to plug, which is really cool. On Stugel says he mostly watches Peter's streams.
I think what he means there, he mostly just watches. He doesn't participate in the chat. I think that's what he means. I could be wrong.
Lord Nemesis says Leroy shills, but he also chills. I think it's great when you guys shill books because when you do, you're doing it from a place where you've actually really liked the book or the creator. So it comes across as really genuine.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sweetcast I like his videos. He doesn't stream enough for me. That's the problem. I actually really like watching him talk. I find him interesting.
I really wanted him on last night, but something came up. I thought he would have been great. He always has such great insight in his videos, and I know, like, he doesn't get around in streams much, so he has like a core audience too that he's built up just for him, and that's really good. But if you watch his videos, he has really great insight about things, and I love his videos. One of the few channels that I will watch short videos from is Clint.
I like Shane's short pre-recorded videos a lot.
Do you?
Yeah, much more than his live streams. I even if it's a topic I don't really understand, I'll watch it, and he's actually convinced me on some topics. I was like, nah, I'm not buying this. Like, he's just trying to make a video out of it. And by the end, I'm like, no, I can understand his point. And that's hard for me, like to be swayed like that. But he does a good job with it.
This is a great point, Jasper. Pete's open mics are great because he limits each project to 5 minutes. He keeps entertaining while the guests are boomering. Yeah, that was cool. I went on. Did you see I went on, George, last week?
I did.
Yeah. And I promoted like 4 or 5 different books within those 5 minutes. And Bancroft got like three sales, so he was pretty happy. That was pretty cool. Johnny Rando, just back Shelby. You guys are a positive influence. Thank you,
nice.
Man. Very cool. Cool character. Yeah, this is Rage-tality from Rage-tality's War.
Yeah, he hates whipped cream on his coffee. Hates it.
He likes swords, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And guns.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got 4 swords. I mean, he's got 2 hands.
Yeah, but I mean, what if you like stick those 2 swords in? You need 2 other swords. Like, it makes sense to me.
I think he used one of the swords on one book when somebody put whipped cream in his coffee.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. What do you guys have anything else that you want to say? I think we might go raid Shelby's. What do you think?
No, I mean that's fine with me. How about you, Leroy?
I got nothing.
So the point in general is like there's different channels for different people. Find something you like. What you like is not going to be what I like, and that's fine. If you want entertainment, there are channels for that. If you want drawing stuff, there are channels for that. There's shield channels. There's chill channels. There's and multiple people do different channels type things.
Yeah,
as well.
I would say this too, Rob. It's not a competition. I see this within more fans than even creators. Is like this creator's better than that creator, and it's like, come on, man. Like, there's different tastes. There's no. It's not a competition between what artist is better or what channel is better. Everybody likes different things. George likes different things than I do. I'm glad George finds stuff to like, and I think he's glad I find stuff to like. And there's nothing wrong. That doesn't mean we're competing. There's no competition here.
Yeah,
that's a lot of what's that? Markers?
Copics.
Markers?
Yeah, Copic markers.
My dad can beat up your dad. Exactly, Jason. That's exactly what I'm saying.
And you know, like there's been some talk, and I don't know what the outcome was, that there are too many channels, but I think it's great, man, because when I first came here, there wasn't many channels there wasn't many channels I enjoyed. So now that there are lots, I can go and find something I like. It's just like a TV show, man. If you don't like it, go find something else. But we might wrap it there, guys. A short one today. Let's go raid Shelby's because he could use some support. And then the guys, where are you guys going off to in 25 minutes?
My nerd swag.
Joe Catapano. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. There's a couple actually one creator and one I would call him, what would we call Terry? A super fan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and they're kind of out. They're not Comicsgate, but they love having us over there, and they give us a fresh perspective on things. It's good stuff. I like it. You got to
and
behave. He's a pastor, so behave in the chat.
Go check out Kane Manifesto and Jojo Kun Show as well. They've just started up somewhat recently. George, what day is that on?
Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Beautiful. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it there. Thank you all. Thank you all for tuning in. Even though EVFs was trying to stream over me, that's fine.
Sad, Rob.
Clearly joking. Thanks, everyone. Go check out Shelby's channel. Link is in the chat there.
Later, chat.
Bye, guys.